Hello and welcome to the first show of the fall 2011 semester. I'm Natalie Briggs.
And I'm Victor Ulloa. We have a great show for you today, including an entertainment report, movie review.
And we'll take an inside look at the 2011 Long Beach Funk Fest.
All this and more on this edition of IE News, so stay tuned. And now for our top stories. Counseling appointments are available now. Continuing and returning students will be able to make 30-minute appointments or see a counselor during the express counseling for 10 minutes at a first-come, first-served basis. Stop by the counseling center or call either one of the two numbers below to schedule an appointment today. Students may also submit questions through the online counseling service by going on the website listed below and clicking on the detailed question/login option. Non-students may use the quick questions option for their general concerns.
All are invited to a PCC event in remembrance of September 11 from noon to 1 p.m. in the campus quad near the flagpole. The program will include Chief of Police Jim McDonnell, CSU LB ROTC Color Guard, LBCC student leaders, moment of silence, and the releasing of doves. For more information, call 562-938-3985.
Astronomy open houses are coming up, consisting of a planetarium show in the room D326, followed by telescope viewing on the roof of the D building. Open houses are scheduled for Friday, September 9th, October 7th, and November 4th. Admissions start around 7:10 p.m. and the planetarium show starts at 7:30 p.m. There is no admissions after the show starts, so those interested in attending must arrive before then.
Students, please note that Flex Day September 20th is not listed in the fall schedule of classes. Day and evening classes are canceled. The Flex Day for September 20th will be a department meeting day. Glitz, glamour, rumors, and scandal, all on this week's entertainment report. Let's go to Edmundo Vega for the Inside Scoop.
Hello, and welcome to this week's entertainment report. Let's start off with one of the most seen and controversial shows out this year, Jersey Shore. Back with more tanning and fist pumping than ever before, the Jersey Shore cast seems to be taking over the world. Endorsements and club appearances are raking these Guidos and Guidettes millions of dollars, but the situation has a situation of its own. Abercrombie & Fitch has sent Mike the Situation Torrentino an official letter stating they would pay him a substantial amount of money to stop wearing their brand, as they are afraid that it will have a negative impact on what the brand image is all about. No response has been issued, but I am sure that many are willing to pay this Guido a good amount of money to rock their gear. Moving on to the interesting world of music, Jenni Rivera, a Mexican regional music singer and former Long Beach resident, has the challenge of being the first female of her genre in the music world to fill 15,000 seats for her presentation on September the 3rd at the Staples Center. In a press conference with the media, Jenni stated that she sees this as an achievement to her and the genre she represents, as opposed to a challenge. With the positive attitude and great fan base she will do amazing. And of course, I'll be there supporting her as well. And finally, for those football fans, Patriots wide receiver Chad Ochocinco is still searching for the lucky fan that will house him for the first few weeks of the season while he finds a home of his own. Ochocinco is looking for a place to crash while he gets used to his new city. A few of the requirements, an Xbox and internet. That is all for this week's entertainment report. I'm Edmundo Vega for IE News.
Thanks, Edmundo. Now let's head into the studio, where Jessica Lopez will give us the lowdown on this week's weather report.
As you know, we've had unpredictable highs and lows throughout the summer. Let's take a look at our national forecast. We're looking at possible rain throughout California as we reach to the Midwest, possible severe thunderstorms as well. Right here in the East Coast, we're going to be looking at possible rain as well. Now let's take a look and get back closer to home. With Malibu, we'll be at highs of 67, Santa Monica 71, LA will reach highs of 80. West Covina, we get a little hotter with highs of 82. Anaheim will reach highs of 81. Huntington Beach 74. As we get back to Long Beach, we'll be at highs of 74 as well. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our 5-day forecast. Thursday, we'll have some AM clouds with highs of 73, lows of 65. Friday, partly sunny, highs of 80, lows of 66. Saturday, Sunday will be mostly sunny throughout the week with highs of 81 and lows of 66. Monday, we're going to reach highs of 81, mostly sunny with lows of 66. Now that's it for our 5-day forecast. I'm Jessica Lopez.
Thanks, Jessica. We have more IE News coming up right after this commercial break, so stay tuned.
Yeah, you. Do you want to learn lighting? Professional studio equipment? Professional cameras? And make your own production? Yeah, I thought so. Well, come on down to Long Beach City College and sign up for a class in TV and radio broadcasting. Who is that guy in the shot? We have dedicated instructors.
Hey, I'm trying to get some work done here. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Get out of here. I got important work to do. Come on. Get out of here.
And bunnies! Tons of bunnies!
Bunnies? I love bunnies.
Don't worry, old timer. We'll teach you how to use that thingamachine.
I'm signing up right now.
Welcome back. Now let's head into the studio where Oscar Alfonso has all the updates on what's new in the technological world.
Hi, and welcome to this semester's first tech report. To start off, I'll begin by telling you about this new Japanese invention built to pick up liquid messes. This automated machine is not currently on the market, but the company who designed it and built it are seriously thinking of exploring its uses, but still they're not yet considering taking it overseas. The next invention is groundbreaking, if I may say so. Genius! It is called an epidermal electronic system, or EES for short. It's basically an electronic circuit mounted on your skin designed to stretch, flex, and twist, and to take input from the movements of your body. It could be used for both medical or gaming purposes. It's basically a tattoo that can be placed anywhere you like. And speaking about gaming, don't expect any new consoles from Sony or Microsoft anytime soon. According to Game Informer magazine, even though the technological market is evolving very quickly, the consoles that are out right now are not yet obsolete and still have potential with constant software updates and groundbreaking video games. The new game consoles will most likely come out on 2013 or 2015. Stay tuned for more. This is Oscar Alfonso for iNews.
That was great, Oscar. Now it's time to head on down to the movie theater where IE News reporter Chris Johnson has a riveting movie review.
Hello and welcome to another edition of At the Movies. This week we will be looking at the latest movie coming out of Weta Workshop in New Zealand. Now, picture this. Your father has a degenerative brain disease, and you just so happen to be a brilliant scientist working for a pharmaceutical company who can supply you with enough test subject apes to finally find a cure for the illness that is slowly killing the man who gave you life. What could go wrong, you may ask? Absolutely everything. And believe me, you'll be happy it does. Of course, I'm talking about the highly anticipated summer blockbuster Rise of the Planet of the Apes. The feature, starring James Franco, John Lithgow, and Andy Serkis, is a prequel to the beloved Planet of the Apes film made in 1968, starring Charlton Heston. And though it lacks a creepy romance between man and ape, it completely makes up for it with great performances, awe-inspiring action sequences, and the best special effects I've seen to date, hands down. The film's writing is airtight, allowing for another great performance by Andy Serkis, better known as the man behind Gollum in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This time, Serkis takes on the role of Caesar, who, being the child of an original test ape, is the smartest chimp in town. After a wild series of events, Caesar isn't the only genius primate in the Bay Area. In fact, he's one of hundreds, and they're all very, very angry. Overall, I give this movie 3.5 out of 4 stars, and highly recommend the film to anyone who wants to be thoroughly entertained. For IE News, I'm Chris Johnson, at the movies.
Thanks a lot, Chris. It's time to take another break, so hang tight for more IE news after this.
So you're fresh out of high school, or maybe just recently lost your job, wondering where to go from here. You're listening to the radio and watching a little TV when it hits you, a career in the entertainment industry. Well, swing on down to Long Beach City College and enroll yourself into the radio television program and make your dreams come true today. At Long Beach City College, where the sky's the limit.
Welcome back. Our very own reporter, Fariel Khan, sat down with 3 former radio and television students whose studies have led them to many opportunities and achievements, one of which was winning the highly coveted Emmy Award. Let's take a look at how Long Beach City College prepared them for their future. Hello and welcome to this semester's first Spotlight interview. I am here with 3 Long Beach City College alumni, Renee McClellan, Jamie Fish, and Sheila House, who recently created a PSA that won an Emmy. But before we get to know these 3, let's take a look at their Emmy Award-winning PSA.
Hurry, I've got to meet my friends. I'm coming.
At Toy Loan, children can borrow a different toy every week. Membership is free, and with over 50 locations in the Los Angeles area, Joy is just around the corner.
Hello, friends.
Hey, it's Lacey.
Hi, Lacey. Pick me.
Oh, pick me.
For locations or to make a toy donation, call us or visit our website. Every child deserves the gift of joy.
Don't worry, I'll be back for you next week.
Now that was a really sweet PSA. Renee, how did you guys come up with the idea in the first place?
Well, the way that it all works, we all get together with the client, and the client was Toy Loan. So the producer, director, and the writer get together, the above-the-line crew gets together with the charity, and the charity has to be nominated or voted into for us to make a PSA for them. Right. And then we all get together and have a collaborative meeting, and that's how we form it. Once the writer gets it, we discuss it with the producer and the director, and then, I'm the writer, so I would write different concepts from different POVs. And depending on what the client wants, what the executive producer wants, what the director wants, so you kind of have to work this collaboration, and the writer is the one who has to bring it all together to make everybody happy.
Right. Now, Jamie Fish, how did you get involved with this production, and what was your role in it?
I'm part of the production side, and I did a DVD, children's DVD with Sheila House a year ago, and through contacts, she called me up and say she needed some help with it. Myself, another guy named Ricky T, another student named Joe Trajano. We redid all the lighting, all the grip on the commercial. You see the doors that open up for Lacey. Right. We were there to open those doors up. Yeah.
She's really good at that too.
Yeah, Lacey is the star of the show. She's a little girl.
Yeah. And yeah, she needs some extra help, and we were glad to do it for him.
Right. Now, Sheila, when did you guys start the whole process?
Oh, well, it was about a year ago. Like Renee was saying, there's a selection process, and then we got on the digital PSA program together, and it took a series of meetings. Myself and the director and another producer met with the client 3 times. We toured all of the Toy Loan facilities in Los Angeles, and then we had 2 casting sessions.
Right.
And then we finally got into production and wrapped everything at the end of December, just in time to submit for Emmy consideration. It had to air on TV, and it aired on City TV, which is the Santa Monica City TV station. They were our executive producer.
Now, Sheila, how does it feel to be a part of an Emmy-winning PSA?
Oh my gosh. You can't imagine. It's thrilling. It's thrilling for us all, and I'm so happy that I was able to bring in my Long Beach community, which is one of the perks of working as a producer. It's hard work, but you do get to do some hiring. And because I attended Long Beach City College, I knew where I could find some really well-trained, reliable, skilled people. And reliable is the key, because we had one day on set and we had to get it done well.
What about you, Renee? Were you surprised? Were you aiming to get an Emmy, or?
No, because when I'm writing, I don't think about that. If I was to think about all the awards that we win, I won't focus on the story. And as a writer, I have to stick with truth. And I just want to, as a writer, I want to be able to evoke an emotion. I want to write words that actors would love to say. I want to write words that a director would love to direct. I would want to write something that the audience is emotionally drawn to, and that they feel something, and it makes them change just a little bit. Just a little bit. So if my PSA made you smile, that's what I wanted.
And our director, and I was the shadow director also, we were looking for something that had a story. Even though it's 30 seconds, we wanted a beginning, middle, and end, and we wanted endearing characters. And Renee gave us that, in more than one script actually, because we started out thinking we didn't want to do animation. We talked the director into it because there is a lot more technical and labor-intensive things to overcome in an animation on a zero budget.
Right. Now, I see you have awards in your hand. Can you explain them a little?
Well, this was given to us, all of us who worked on it. Renee has one too, in appreciation from our client, the Los Angeles Public Health Department, specifically their toy loan program. And this is the award that I won while I was a student here at Long Beach City College in radio and television.
Wow.
And this is just to show you that you can get here from there. We all started out here, where we were really well trained. We were given access to equipment and training that we needed in order to become well skilled and go into the industry and kick butt. We got an Emmy.
Yeah. How did LBCC, the RTV program, how did it prepare each of you to do something so cool as to win an Emmy?
Well, it prepared me by making sure that I had the foundation set and started in regards to understanding procedural, collaboration with production, because it's a lot to it and it's not easy, and a lot of people might look at it and think it is. It's not an easy thing to do. Even sitting here and interviewing us, I'm sure that's not an easy thing to do. It's kind of outside. It's kind of outside your comfort level. However, to show how much of it is your passion, you're still sitting here and you're doing it. So with writing, you have to make yourself, with any aspect of production, you have to make yourself vulnerable and open to it. And the radio television department here, the professors were always open, and you could go in and talk to them about things. You would have questions, you can email, you can discuss. I mean, just having a forum, a place that you can communicate your passion, and no one's gonna laugh at you, no one's gonna, make you feel bad because you have this particular dream in mind. And I've been to a lot of places where, you're just like everybody else, you come to Hollywood and you got a dream in one hand and, thinking you can do it in the other, and it's like, if you really want something like that, go to school. I think starting out at Long Beach City College is a perfect place to begin. Just go to school, always get educated, always ask questions, and pursue your passion.
And for me, it's basically get your hands on equipment. Long Beach State College is a great.
That would be yours.
Yeah, it's a great place to come. You got to get your hands on equipment. You got to learn it, because when you're on the film set, you don't have time to learn. You have a deadline. You have certain times you got to make sure you're on, and you got to be quick. And so here at Long Beach State College, you're able to learn everything you need to learn, and make your mistakes here. So when you go out in the professional world, you don't make mistakes.
No, you'll make mistakes. You'll make mistakes. However, because you came here to Long Beach City College and you started here, you know how to take that mistake and make it a miracle. That's just the way it is, because things will happen. Production is what it is. So, and that happens because, as a matter of fact, on Toy Loan, I came in as a writer after the writer was gone. And so I came in just blind, but because of my training and I began here, I was able to get something done really, really quickly because, like I said, it's not necessarily mistakes, but things happen. And so that's the nature of the business.
Right.
So you just have to know how to adapt. And that's what a good foundation does. It teaches you that the world didn't fall apart because you didn't get that one shot. What do? You go get the shot, you cheat it out, you do what you have to do to make sure that you have continuity and that it's a beautiful piece with a beginning, middle, and end.
And then lastly, do you guys have any advice to any students who want to be in your position one day?
Sheila? Oh yeah, sure. You take into consideration that the people that you are in school with are most likely the people who are going to be hiring you eventually. And get into networking organizations, join as a student. There's a lot around. We joined Women in Film, and that gave us this opportunity to work together. And always remember your community. When the door is held open for you, hold open the door for as many people as you can.
And then, does anybody have anything else, Jamie? For like behind the scenes stuff?
It's just Long Beach City College is a great place to make your connections. It's a lot of other directors I've talked to, and the people they work with now are the people they met in school, and they're still friends since they graduated. They're still friends and still working together.
And I owe a great deal of gratitude to these 3 men that came out and worked for us, because without them we couldn't have gotten it finished.
Right.
They were our grips, they were our camera assist. They were there all day, they came early, they worked with dolly track, they worked with high-end cameras, and they worked with like 40 kids running and screaming everywhere.
And also, and that is so wonderful. We had a great collaboration. The producer on the piece was Emily Batali. The director was Deborah Reed. Myself was the writer, Renee McClellan, and the shadow director was Sheila House. And what we did was we came up with a concept that was wonderful, and we brought it together. And and my advice to anyone that wants to pursue a career in production, any aspect of production, is to connect with your passion. If this is what you want, make it happen. Don't think just because, people might laugh at you and you might just feel discouraged and things might go a little bit off. Make sure that, you stick with your passion. And saying that, I also want to give you, Sheila and I are working on a production called The Rescue.
Yeah.
And we wanted to give you one of our shirts.
Thank you
This
so
is our new
much.
film that's coming out. It's called The Rescue.
Wow.
Yes.
So where can people tune in to see this?
This is we're going to do the festival runs with that.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for being here, Renee, Jamie, and Sheila.
Thank you.
I'm Fariel Khan for IE News.
Thanks, Fariel. It's great to see students and alumni from the radio and television departments receiving such a prestigious award. We're going to head to another break, but stay tuned. We have a special coverage of the 3rd annual Long Beach Funk Fest coming your way.
Okay, this is Debo from the hit movie Friday, and you're watching IE News right here in Long Beach. That's where I started at. Sleep with your lights on.
Now that I got your attention, do you want to make movies or be a radio DJ?
Yeah!
I thought so. Well, come check out Long Beach City College's radio and TV department. Hey, stop playing with those buddies and get to class, young man. No, not that class. Here at LBCC, we have hands-on training, so ditch that boring lecture. Here we'll teach you state-of-the-art equipment, and in no time, you'll have the right tools to make your very own movie. Don't want to make movies? What's wrong with you? Well, you could be a radio DJ and learn all those crazy soundy stuff. Interested? Then check out our website or call. Look at you now. It looks like you're on your way to being the next Steven Spielberg.
Welcome back. Now let's head on down to Pine Street, where reporter Jessica Lopez had a chance to enjoy the sights and sounds of the Long Beach Funk Festival.
I'm here at the Long Beach 3rd Annual Funk Festival, located off Pine and Broadway, where hundreds of thousands of people flock down to Long Beach to join the funkiest event in the city.
All you have to do is listen to rap samples, and what rap music samples is the funk. They're on the one, they like the groove, the melody, everything about the funk. It's still here, it never gets old. The funk is alive, you can feel it, you can hear it. All we do is bring it out here and give it to the people for free, and they love it. So that's why we do it.
I mean, every genre you go through, whether it's hip hop, pop, R&B, anything, has some kind of influence from funk. You know, funk evolved throughout the years, and its roots are in almost any genre of music you can find. You know, so I mean, it influences heavily. There's certain genres that wouldn't exist if it wasn't for funk. It's like the grandfather of all music. So I mean, it's rooted everywhere. So.
Festival admission is free every year. Whether if you're a legendary artist, new and up-and-coming artist, vendor, or loyal fan of the funk, the Long Beach Funk Fest has manifested a whole new magnitude of funk and much, much more. Now the goal is intended to invoke the spirit of the great 70s funk to help promote, nurture, and develop the cultural funk as a complete musical genre. I'm Jessica Lopez, reporting for IE News.
Thanks, Jessica. Well, that about wraps things up. Here at Long Beach City College, doors are always open to those who are interested in learning about the radio and television industry.
If you're interested in becoming a member of our news team to produce great television, please call 562-938-4892.
Now, we leave you with the student-produced music video.
See you next time.
So long.